Hello peoples, this is part 3 of Anatomy of a Dogfight. In this one we're going to be checking out the F7C Super Hornet using a mixed weapons build. So grab yourself a drink, a snack, get comfortable, and let's get to it. So let's take a look at the build in Erkul. So you'll see that we have a size 3 fixed attrition 3 on the nose. The attrition 3 is not bad, it's got decent DPS. Our projectile speed is going to be 1400 meters per second, and I chose this to pair up with the cannons because the Hornet just doesn't have a whole lot of maneuverability, so I'm probably going to miss most of the time. For my knockout punch, I am going to go with the Tarantula GT870 MK3 version. That's a size 3 fixed, really good alpha damage, and of course our projectile speed being a cannon, not the best in the world, but we do have a 200 round ammo count per gun, which is really good. To round everything up, we're going to go with a big hitter on the attrition 4. That's going to be in the ball turret up on top. And that's going to give us a decent amount of firepower to add to our laser weapons with the same projectile speed as the attrition 3. So between those two, we should be able to take out a lot of stuff, hopefully. We are going to go with 8 Marksman 1 size 1 missiles. By swapping out the missile racks, 4 per rack, and then the rest of the build is going to be using all stealth components. So the Mirage shields, the Slipstream power plant, and the Snowblind coolers. Those are all done to keep our EM and IR signatures down as low as possible, and we have more than enough cooling, shielding, and power to do everything. The Atlas, of course, is going to give us our range and all that good stuff so that we can get to where we want to go. And of course, you'll find a link for this build in the video description below. So looking at our setup, we're going to put our Tarantulas in one group and our Attritions in another. And as you can see, we're coming into the operations area, so I've switched over to missile operator mode to get ready for that. I've increased my speed limiter to give me a little bit more velocity, and now we're going to pick a fight. So now I'm going to decouple, and that's going to allow me to continue to travel in one direction at a different angle to where my nose is orientated, and I'm going to be able to do my missile lock on the target and fire them off as many times as I possibly can without really closing in the range as fast as if I was directly headed towards it. So that worked out pretty good. We got a total of 5 hits with 5 missiles that were shot off. That's kind of unusual, but I'll take it. So now we're going to get ready to do some general dogfighting. I've switched over to guns. We're going to go ahead and dodge the incoming missile and just do a regular dogfight. Let's see how it works out.
Shields.
Now, as you can see, the Hurricane presents his dorsal side, which is the biggest cross-section I'm going to get, so I take the opportunity to unload a bunch of cannon rounds into him. He takes a lot of damage, that's really good, but as you're about to see, I'm also taking hits from his turret. So my shields are going down. I'm going to have to flop over to my shield capacitor, try and get those back up. I'm still going to keep pressure on him with my laser cannons. Of course, that energy is not going to be replaced right now, but the way this fight's going, I think he doesn't have much long to live. I've run dry on my energy capacitor, but I still have the ballistic cannon, so I'm going to keep firing away for as long as I can. Once again, really good angle coming in on top of him. Here my shields start to go down, most likely from his turret hits. But I still have enough capacitor so that I swap over to shields, and then I'm going to use both my laser repeaters and the tarantulas to try and finish this guy off.
Target destroyed.
Shields are back up to full, so we're going to swap over to our weapon capacitor, get that back up, take out the next target, which is going to be the Eclipse. So now we're looking a little better. We got our shields back up. I'm swapping my energy back over to the weapons capacitor. Whenever I get a chance and I know that I have a pretty good shot, I'm just going to unload everything I have, both ballistic and energy weapons. If it looks like he's going to skirt around me or joust me a little bit, I'll just switch back to the energy weapons. And then once again, when I get a really good target like this here, add in my cannons. And of course, the last target is an M50, but I'm doing pretty good. My lasers, my shields, my boost, they're all powered back up to a significant level. I'm going to leave my weapons capacitor set at default levels because it's an M50 and I'm not really too worried about him taking my shields out. Now I am going to show you a tactic to be able to deal with a very maneuverable fighter when you're in a dog of a ship. Let's say Caterpillar and you're dealing with a fighter, or in this case I have my Super Hornet and I'm dealing with an M50. So I'm going to run my speed limiter all the way up. I'm going to boost in a straight line. Then what I'm going to do is decouple, turn around. This is going to force the M50 to basically fly at me in order to keep up. I'm going to harass him with some missiles first. Once he gets in to where he's too close, I'm going to engage with guns. The only time that I'm going to open up with my cannons is when I know that I'm going to be able to hit him with a shot, or at least reasonably know that I'm going to be able to hit him with a shot. Until then, I'm just going to keep pelting away with my laser energy weapons. In this case, you can see how less maneuverable he appears relative to my position. He's no longer passing me. I'm no longer having to joust him. He's basically staying directly in front. I'm going to do a quick turn here, make sure that I'm not going to back myself into an asteroid because we were in an asteroid field. And then I'm just going to turn back around. I'm still in decoupled mode. Look where he is. He's still sitting behind me. This is a great position to be in, particularly if you're in a medium or heavy fighter and you're dealing with a more maneuverable, lighter ship. So this fight's dragging on because it's a more maneuverable ship, but also because of desync. So right here you can see I'm getting ready to shoot him, and guess what? Boom. He materializes someplace else. It totally throws my aim off. So that's why this is kind of dragging out long, because not only is it a maneuverable ship, but we've had several instances of desync where I just can't hit him when I should. So my persistence has paid off. He's no longer maneuvering that much. I finally get a decent chance to use my cannons, and he goes pop just like that. So I think that'll wrap this up. Hopefully you can see the value in using a medium fighter like the Super Hornet. It's still viable in 3.14. Obviously these are all NPC targets, but if you're having trouble with ERTs and stuff, I hope that some of these tactics and everything that I'm showing you will help you out and get over that little hump. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And don't forget to leave some comments in the comment section, because that's what the comment section's for. Let us know what you think. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you like the Hornet? Do you hate the Hornet? All that good stuff. You got a better way of doing it. And as always, take care.